Back in the good old days, it was the era of the sedans. Then medyo sumingit ang mga wagons dahil medyo lumalaki ang pamilya, mas maraming seating capacity ang kailangan. Then I think around early 2000s, dumating na ang mga naglalakihang SUVs at syempre meron ding mga pick-up pa. Pero ngayong era na to, at least ngayong taong 2023 kung kailan ko na-record tong video na to, eto na siguro talaga ang panahon at era ng crossover. While it gives you the height of an SUV, it still gives you the comfort na maibibigay ng sedan. At syempre, medyo presyong sedan din siya, kaya medyo affordable compared sa naglalakihang mga SUVs. And dito sa video na to, pag-usapan natin ang 2024 GAC GS4 1.5GB automatic transmission. Ito ang lone variant ng GAC GS4 wherein as a regular consumer, natutuwa ako kasi dagdag ito sa mga choices natin na pagpipilian kapag tumitingin ng bagong sasakyan. Before I go on, kung mahilig ka sa Philippine car news and reviews, I would appreciate it if you can consider giving a like on this video and subscribing to the channel. I post one video a week sharing my thoughts and opinions regarding Philippine cars. Maliit na bagay yan para sa inyo pero napakalaking tulong yan para lumago ang channel na to so that I may also know the interests of the Filipino consumer. Taking a look at the front profile ng GS4, I will really say na it doesn't stand out, which is a good thing and bad thing at the same time. Good thing kasi, well, simple tingnan, low profile, hindi masyadong takaw atensyon. Pero syempre yung iba gusto forma, gustong mag-stand out, so baka kaya hindi siya ganun ka-popular sa market talaga natin. Aside sa basic looking front fascia niya, siguro ang isang hinahanap ko dito na hindi ko makita ay yung kanyang mga fog lamps. Sa laki ng sasakyan na to, or rather sa taas, I am assuming and expecting na meron siyang fog lamps. Underneath the hood, we will find the familiar 1.5-liter turbo engine na paired with a automatic transmission. That 1.5-liter turbo engine keeps the importing cost at a very low price, which is makita natin mamaya kung magkano ba talaga to. And para sa mga hindi fan ng CVT or DCVTs, well, traditional automatic transmission to, so you might want to take a look at this one. Looking at the sides, dahil ito ay crossover, meron siyang black body plastic claddings na mas subtle siya compared sa iba kaya I think they did a good job here. Yung ibang implementation kasi parang sobrang kapal, medyo OA na tingnan, at least for me. What is also noticeable dito sa gilid is yung kanyang ground clearance. I checked and 190mm ang kanyang ground clearance. That's more than enough para sa mga lubak natin dito sa Pilipinas, mga bahain kalsada, and kung gusto mo ng light off-roading, well, pwede naman to, pero wag lang mong expect yung capability ng 4x4 kasi ito ay front wheel drive lang ha. Similar to the front and its side profiles, itong kanyang back profile, well, medyo subtle din siya. Low profile tignan, hindi masyado pansinin, hindi takaw atensyon kumbaga. Which is a good thing kasi kung ako nag-drive ng GS4, mas gusto ko na yung driver sa likod ng sasakyan tinitingnan yung distance niya sa akin. Guilty kasi ako dito dahil pag nakita ko ng kakaibang sakyan sa kalsada at maganda, I tend to look at it and minsan hindi na ako masyado nagiging aware sa surroundings ko. And nga pala, similar sa other crossovers and mga bagong sakyan ngayon, meron na rin itong rear camera and sensors para mas madaling i-park. Similar to other crossovers, malaki din and very significant yung size ng kanyang trunk space na hinanap naman talaga natin sa mga crossovers. Kung meron lang siguro akong papansinin dito, yun yung kanyang kawalan ng tonneau cover. I was hoping na standard din sana dito yun pero it is what it is. Entering the passenger side, combinations ng plastic, soft touch materials, and leather yung kanyang sidings. Which is a good implementation if you ask me kasi while it gives us comfort para sa mga common touch areas, it keeps also the cost low by using plastic materials dun sa mga areas na hindi naman natin masyadong hinahawakan. But speaking of areas na lagi nating nahahawakan at nararamdaman, full leather na ang kanyang mga upuan, plus meron din tong cup holder sa gitna, and syempre, yung almighty rear aircon vents. Similar to other crossovers, 2 passengers will be very comfortable here. Pwede pang magsakay ng isa pa para tatlo yung nasa likod, pero kung akong tatanungin, for long drives, best to keep it at 2 passengers lang, lalo at dalawa lang yung aircon vents sa likod. And of course, dahil we live in the information world, wherein halos lahat tayo merong mga cellphone sa bulsa, ito, meron din siyang charging point sa likod. Entering the front seats, I have a mixed feelings to describe the interior cabin. It doesn't look sporty, it doesn't look luxurious, and it doesn't look rugged. Instead, parang combination siya ng all three of them. Kumbaga, parang merong bits and pieces na parang gusto niyang sabihin na ako ay luxurious, sporty, and rugged. Kung medyo magulo, isa-summarize ko na lang siya sa one word. And that one word is modern. Modern kasi yung kanyang 8-inch infotainment screen has Apple CarPlay, but similar to other Chinese cars, wala rin siyang Android Auto. Meron din siyang cruise control, which is a very useful feature pag long drives. Another feature na very useful but underrated siguro sa atin is yung kanyang tire pressure monitoring system. Pero kung mapansin nyo, hindi ko to tinawag na high-tech na sakyan kasi medyo weird, analog pa kasi yung kanyang instrument gauge cluster. Pero if you ask me, okay lang yan kasi all the basics are covered naman na. 4 airbags para sa driver and front passenger, then meron din side airbags. Thank God na mukhang naging standard na talaga ang ABS with EBD, immobilizer, stability control, na pare-pareho nating hindi naramdaman pero rest assured na nandyan yan kapag kailangan natin in case of emergencies. Plus syempre, meron na siyang hill start assist para pagka traffic at nabitin ka paakyat ng tulay or matatarik na parking ramp. Yan ang tutulong sa'yo kapag tumigil ka sa bandang gitna para hindi ka umatras at mabangga yung nasa likod mo. Speaking of traffic na rin, meron na siyang electronic parking brake and auto hold. Electronic parking brake can be debatable kung useful ba talaga, pero what is not debatable, at least for me, is yung kanyang auto hold feature. Napakalaking tulong niyan sa stop and go traffic para hindi na tayo palaging nag-shift ng gears tuwing na-stuck sa red lights. So, with all that quote-unquote basic features, magkano nga ba to? Right now, it is priced at 1,160,000 Philippine peso. Being a Chinese car offering, medyo weird yung kanyang pricing point kasi more than 1 million pero parang wala masyado yung 8899, rather it is somewhere in between. Pero take note, that price is the suggested retail price. For sure, similar to other Chinese car offerings, malaki-laki ang discount na makuha natin kung magtatanong tayo sa mga ating dealers or agents. Hindi ako magulat kung makakuha tayo ng discount na around 50 to 100,000, which will make this car price very competitive. That's it for this video. Kung may gusto kayong idagdag, put them in the comment section down below. So this is Kai, your driver but not so sweet lover na nagsasabing, keep calm, drive safe, and stay awesome.